enjoy the show after the beep.
Hey everybody, you're listening to Godman and Buddy. Welcome to the show. This is the first time, and then the theremin
Thomas. Hey, good morning, everybody. This is the morning episode of the podcast show you're listening to right now, Chronic.
If you're not listening in the morning, you're gonna get a scorning.
Well, we're recording in the morning because we just talked about it before the show, and that's none of your damn business.
It is 1:11.
Is it really? Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. You know what's funny? That's crazy.
I was like, wait, morning. It can't be morning. Let me check.
It feels like the morning. Have I told you about what's been going on between Emma and I personally in our personal lives?
Tell me about it now on the show.
Well, we've murdered a guy and he's in our bathtub taking a bath.
He's taking a bath.
Yeah, in his blood.
I thought he was just in there.
In his blood.
Oh, getting that nice soak on. Is that gonna make his skin a nice healthy red?
No. So
no, it won't.
Dude, she's been getting like I know it's dumb. You know what angel numbers are? Have you ever heard of them? You ever heard of an angel number?
Is that... No, I don't know what that is.
You ever see a number that you've seen a lot?
Okay, it's like a... So that's like a...
It's supposed
it's
to
like
be,
a sign kind of thing.
Sure, it's that kind of thing.
You're like...
A lot of the
there's
time.
a bunch of that one.
It's been happening to Emma a lot. And, you know, you get the people who are like, that's 11/11, make a wish, right? But, she's got a lot of them, apparently. So but it's like always the same, like 3 of the same number in a row, but not next to anything. So anytime she sees 111 just randomly or something like that, she'll say it's, you know, it's 111 or it's 222, 333.
Yeah.
444 and 555.
Yeah.
All of the ones that are you
can't
have.
have 666 though.
No, that one's not good.
I wish.
But that's funny. But like the one she sees the most is 111.
Yeah.
Just everywhere. 111 and 444 we see everywhere. And it started popping up like just random. It's always at a thing where it's like you're not like trying to see it. You know what I mean? I think it's a brain thing, to be honest, which is
For
really
sure.
cool. But also it has happened.
Well, I say for sure.
We don't know.
But obviously we don't know. Yeah.
But I'll tell you what. The craziest one is when we were at Cheddar's the other day and we were eating together and she was looking at the menu and she points to a thing. There's a picture of a clock on the just like because there's art on the menu and there's like a digital clock and what's on the time? 444. And she's like, and then she'll like, she's been playing Skyrim. She'll like pause the game and she'll look at how much money she has. 111 coins.
Yeah.
And then, so now it's been on my mind all the time, but it's always like weird instances like that where it's not on the clock anymore. Sometimes it's just like, there's 111 things going on, right? She'll look at comments on TikTok or something like that. It'll say 111.
Yeah.
There's 111 comments. What's been happening to me now is I'll look at it just like, I'm not even like checking the time. I'll just see it and be like, hey, that's the number that she cares about. I'm like, is it still? And then I'll look back at changed immediately.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's stupid. This is dumb. I don't like it. But yeah, it's been
That's really interesting.
I don't know. What do you think's behind that, Tim?
I do think it's a brain. I think it's a brain is behind it. There's one brain that controls all the numbers. Big, huge brain that's controlling all the numbers, and he is doing that, Mr. Brain.
I think definitely you see him a lot more when you're conscious of it.
It's like the I mean, this applies to a lot of things, but like when you buy a new car and it's a brand that you haven't had before, and now that's the only car you see on the road, and you're like, wow, there's a like when Tia got her Nissan Sentra. Like we already, obviously Nissan's a popular car.
And Nissan Sentras are.
But like like it's like you don't pay attention to those, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, every car is a Nissan Sentra, or like, yeah, there's just a lot of stuff like that. So I'm not gonna come out and say that there can't be anything behind those numbers, like that's more spiritual, because I don't know. I don't know anything. But if I had to guess, my would be to say that the brain did it.
Misa Jar Jar. So,
but that's interesting. That's definitely interesting.
It is
regardless
interesting.
of the reason. That's interesting.
Yes, we like to believe in it's a little bit spiritual.
Yeah.
Because and I'll tell you what,
think
it has
that's cool.
what was the one she had one the other day that it like freaked me out. I was like, what? How did that just happen? Why did you get that? Why are those numbers always popping up though? Like in random. Like with the 111 coins specifically, like all the math that had to go, she had to buy this and then do that, and then all the things she was doing had to lead up to that, just for her to see it 111.
Yeah,
it's like that's crazy. But it happened another time like that too, and it was the clock thing. I 100% believe it's the brain, and I do think anytime there is 111 or all those numbers that she's hyper aware of, I think she's going to see it now. Officially, but it doesn't mean that.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean that, especially because it's happening and it's happening a lot. Do they happen a lot to everyone? Who knows? I don't.
Yeah,
I've been trying to be conscious of it. I mean, it did just happen there, so I mentioned
right
it.
there.
Yeah. So anyway, if she's listening to this podcast, she'll love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, which she isn't. So go fuck yourself, Emma. Just kidding. I love you, baby. So
wait, you guys are in love?
now I'm going to talk shit about her. We've been trying to watch Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So did I tell you about the time I tried to show her Star Wars before?
No.
So
I'm going to go ahead and shake my head about that one.
This was like 2 years ago. I was like, shit, we should watch Star Wars. I haven't seen Star Wars in a long time. We started with A New Hope, which was, that's a classic ASIC. And so we started there, and I was like, we got like 15 minutes into the movie, maybe 20. It's like right when you get to meet Luke Skywalker for the first time, she was like, we got to stop this. I don't care about the robot's feelings.
Damn.
Yeah. And
that's
I was
a
like,
take.
which I thought was funny because I was like,
that's a
not
take
really
I've never heard.
I know. I was like, that's not what these movies are about, but respect.
Yeah.
So I just shut it off. I was like, you know what? She doesn't care about the robot feelings.
That's
so
fine.
And when she said that, I was like, you know what? You're not going to like these movies.
Yeah, that's probably a sign that you're not going to be into it.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Everybody's favorite character, RD2J.
Yeah, we all like, which she's more fine with now.
RD2J.
Because she's made me watch just the most amount of movies ever, and she'll claim that she hasn't, but she definitely has.
Yeah.
And I will watch them with her, and I love to do that. And a lot of the times I end up really liking them. So
hell yeah.
Doesn't mean I choose to watch them ever again or would have chosen them in the first place, but I end up liking them. Right. So I was like, you know what? Good. I watched these series with her. We watched through all the Hunger Games, which I enjoyed, but in the fact that she hasn't seen any of the Star Wars movies, I'm like, well, we should probably do that.
Yeah.
You should probably see at least the original trilogy. If you don't want to watch any more, we can stop. But I think it's important because it's cinema.
Yeah.
Right? And then, so we watch those, and she's like kind of into it, kind of not really at all. She's not a war movie person.
Oh, yeah.
And there's, I guess, there is a lot of war that is happening in those.
I wouldn't think of them like that, but I can see that take.
I can see it too. Yeah. I think it's just anything that's like fighting.
Yeah.
Is like not necessarily action, but like space fighting and stuff.
If you take action films out of the picture, I don't have a lot of films I'm ready for.
She doesn't have.
I'm not ready for them.
But especially because there's a lot of movies that have action. It's more. I think that's kind of where her brain was going. I see them more as action adventures, which she sees them like that too.
Yeah.
But I think it's more important. Like I'm focusing on like just where are these characters going? You
Yeah.
know, what's going on? It's like
Yeah,
a road trip in
the
a
war
way.
stuff is more of a backdrop to the whole thing. You're
It's
not
the
really
lore.
in it, you know.
Yeah, but
For the most part.
I get like story wise because she loves a story, a drama. She loves anything that's like that. And if she's paying attention to the story of this one, there's not a lot.
That's fair.
It is just. I get what she means when she says it's a war movie. That's the story, yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's a little more than that. But anyway, or a little less. I don't
It's
know.
a little less than that.
It's
a war movie.
It's not complicated.
Nah, you're giving it a little too much credit there, actually.
But she was like really wanting to watch the prequels
Interesting. Yeah.
because she thought. I mean, there's. You know, people have been.
There's 3 of them.
I've heard the takes now. All the people who watched the prequels and grew up with them grew up and are actually like doing the thing.
They're
where
actually like better people now.
they're better people, and they're like, you know what, the prequels aren't that bad. Which yes, sure, obviously.
They're just like every movie that people are like, oh, whoa. Like if you actually watch it, most of the time,
It's fine.
it's fine.
Star Wars fans are the worst.
Those are the most movies that people are like, this movie's a bad movie. Most of those movies are what I would call a movie. And that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Like there's not really anything else happening. And that's why people think it's really bad, is just because like you break it down into its parts and it is a movie and that's it. You know, good movies are a movie and it's doing something.
And it's doing something.
Yeah.
A bad movie
Yeah.
is just
a movie.
fine.
Yeah. Well,
And-
and then there's the category of like
So bad it's funny.
so bad it's funny, and that's a good movie.
Yeah. And the bad movies are actually fun to watch. Those are like, all right, well, I guess I'm watching a bad one then.
Honestly, I think that's the biggest issue is like
They wanted it to be a
that are
good movie.
boring. Movies that are boring are worse than a bad movie
Yes.
for sure.
And
The prequels get boring.
she was getting bored with the original trilogy.
Yeah, well,
They are old. I think that's part of it.
probably.
I think she's still trying to analyze it. I don't know why, and I don't care. It's fine. She doesn't
Yeah.
have to. I just showed it to her because, I mean, I'm a little disappointed because I wanted her to like it.
Yeah.
Obviously, because I've liked a bunch of her stuff, and I'm like,
That's really hard.
yeah. And it's because I like it so much. That's it, and it's fun for me.
Tia
But-
and I usually have that only, where like
Really?
she'll show me stuff that she thinks I'll like, and I always love it. Like, well, not always, but almost every time she showed me something where she's like, "You're definitely gonna like this," I do. I'm like, hell yeah. And then when I show her stuff, I usually try and pick and choose stuff that I think that she really would be into. And every once in a while, we get a gem where she's like, this is good, and then, but more often, it's like, you know, she's nice about it. You know, she's like, oh yeah, you know, but it's obvious that it's not her thing.
You know what it is? I think women are just better at knowing what we would like than men are knowing what women would like.
Yeah,
To an
well,
extent.
I was going to
Obviously
say
not
it
all.
might be a combination of things with both of these people. Is that they might both have more refined tastes
Yes.
than we do. We're just kind of like, give us stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
And then,
I think that is it.
but also like I think. Yeah, they might know us better, and that's part of it too.
I think that is about right. Like it's just that they have.
I just want stuff. I don't know.
They're really specific, interesting people. When
Yeah.
we're just not.
Yeah, like they have like actual opinions that might be interesting to listen to, and we're the ones with the podcast.
Yes, we are.
Speaking of movies I've showed Tia, we just watched Ultraman Rising, which
What's that?
It's an animated CGI kind of Netflixy guy happened. And they did their own thing with Ultraman, which is a character from the 70s.
Character.
70s seems right.
Yes. Have we talked about Ultraman on the show?
For sure had to have.
I forget.
He's basically
I've seen him. He
the
looks
coolest Japanese superhero.
over Astro Boy.
Maybe not.
Yeah,
but
that's Ultraman.
this is Ultraman. Well, actually, so this is
I was
Ultraman
looking
Jack.
for him. His name's Jack.
This is Ultraman Jack.
Where's
He's from Ultraman Returns. Because
there an
he's
Ultraman
got
Dave?
extra lines on his suit. I wish.
Ultraman Dave, Ultraman Joan. That's a lady Ultraman.
But basically, Ultraman Rising, they take the Ultraman story. There's so much Ultraman stuff that I didn't know existed. There's like 1,000 movies and shows and books and stuff. So the Ultraman Rising stuff could have been based on something and I just wouldn't know. But my understanding is it's its own thing. It takes Ultraman and does its own thing with it. It's pretty good. Pretty good. It's definitely like, I don't know. It's like a lot of 3D animated stuff where it's, it feels like it's geared a little more towards kids. But this one, like a lot of them, is also intended to be for any audience.
Yeah.
So it was a fun watch. But basically, there's like a little monster baby. And by little, I mean like a 20-foot tall monster baby.
Godzilla?
Because the whole
Godzilla's
thing,
taller than that.
the whole thing Ultraman does is fights giant monsters.
Oh, cool.
That's like his thing.
That's pretty cool. They needed that over there.
Yeah, they really need that.
They keep having giant monster movies.
Happens too much.
Giant monsters destroy Japan for some reason.
And there's nobody to do anything about it.
Nope.
Until Ultraman came along.
Yeah.
But basically, there's like a baby monster who is still giant, big baby.
It's a it's a baby the size of a monster.
It's
or
a monster the size of a baby. If a baby was 20 feet tall.
It's a 20-foot. So where's the baby? Is it wearing a diaper?
No.
The whole place smells like baby powder.
Possibly.
Eats only Gerbers.
Basically, Ultraman's trying to raise this baby because its mama died. But the baby was cute. The monster baby was cute, and so that Tia was like, "I'm here for that." Because I convinced her to watch this, and I was like, "I'm not thinking this is probably going to be your thing, but we'll try it." And then she was like, "I can get on board for the monster baby." So.
Get on board for the monster baby. So she liked it?
Yeah, she liked it.
Good.
And I was surprised.
That's fun.
Yeah. It's usually funny because it's the ones that I'm like, well, will you watch this with me? I don't think you're going to like it, but will you? Those are the ones that she's like, this is great.
Yeah.
It's like,
so we just watched back to the Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
We just watched Attack of the Clones. So that's what we've seen. We've seen all the original, and apparently she's seen all the new ones too. Her parents took her to see the new ones, and then we're never like, let's show you the.
That's really interesting.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So she's seen like Rogue One, Solo, and all the new ones, but she hasn't seen any of the. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah,
she's almost done.
yeah, I guess so.
We're probably gonna watch all the, because I haven't seen the new ones in forever. But we just finished Attack of the Clones last night. Which one do you think is her favorite of the movies?
Is it Attack of the Clones?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
So there's only 2 that you've watched.
No, because we watched the original 3.
Oh,
yes.
You started with the original 3 and then went back. I thought you were starting with the prequels when you talked about it before.
She was wanting to do that.
Okay.
And I feel dumb because that's what we should have done. But
Return of the Jedi was her favorite.
No.
I'm trying to figure out what the surprising one to be your favorite would be.
What do you think?
Phantom Menace?
It is Phantom Menace.
Okay.
She said, but like a lot more than all the others.
See, that's really interesting.
I told her,
sure.
I was like, because I was kind of discussing where my rankings were for Attack of the Clones. Because after we watched it, I was still more confident, being like, you know what? I do think this is my least favorite.
Yeah.
Just because it's not the worst thing in the world.
Definitely not.
A little boring. And I don't like, she was disagreeing with me the whole time, which is fine. Agree to disagree. But I'm still not a fan of Hayden Christensen's delivery and soullessness and stuff like that.
That's fair.
And I understand that's what he's being told to do. I'm not saying he's a bad actor as a job. He probably does good in other movies. I don't know.
It's not necessarily his fault. That doesn't make it good, though.
Yes, but here he is not. It's not. I don't believe it. And also, I don't know. It's also not. I don't believe it, but like I don't like the direction.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah, that's really. It's just
Yeah.
the direction of
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is not where I would have gone, but that's fine. All Star Wars people say that about every movie, so it doesn't matter. But I was discussing that, and then I asked her kind of what her rankings were, and she was like, "Well, Phantom Menace is number one," and then she was like, but all the other ones kind of like just are, I don't know, together. She couldn't separate them.
Yeah.
It was just
They're
like
all
Phantom Menace
basic-
and then
yeah.
all the other
Then
ones.
there's the rest.
So she just
Yeah.
really liked that one.
That's funny.
But she thought the kid was cute. She thought little Anakin was cute, which he is. She didn't mind Jar Jar,
Yeah.
which is fine. Besides, you know,
Right. Yeah. All the
all the other stuff
Yeah.
I've talked about before with him. But like, and he's not that annoying. He's not funny.
no,
I'll
he's
give
not
him-
funny.
He's not funny, but it's fine.
Yeah.
But I was like, it was a long movie. I was like, you just got to wait until we get to the last part. I think it's one of the best parts in all of Star Wars. So with the action, like the lightsaber battle.
Oh, at the end of
And I think she was just used to the lightsaber battles from like the 70s and early 80s, which are like, you know,
There's not a lot happening there. Yeah.
just moving their arms back and forth, basically.
Yeah.
Right. And then you see that one and you're like, holy fucking shit, this is amazing.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Yeah.
It's one of the coolest things ever. But that was her favorite one, which I think is funny because
That is
that's
funny.
like the one everyone says is the worst one,
Yeah.
which I don't agree. Or at least
See-
they did when I was growing up.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess I'll be interested to see what she thinks about Revenge of the Sith because
I
that
think-
one's like actually pretty solid.
I've seen that one the least out of the prequels because we owned them all except that one when I was a kid. But
Yeah, probably the whoa. I don't remember the titles of the new ones.
you do.
There's the Force
Force
Awakens. Then there's the
Last
last of the
Last
of
Jedi.
the Jedi,
And then the other one is the worst one of all of
and
them.
it's Skywalker's abs, arms.
Check him out.
Check him out.
And on the cover, they have them all in the background like they usually do, but in front and center is Luke Skywalker just holding up his
Still a little bit of his shirt.
his robe.
Don't want to give too much, but
It's Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker. Okay,
Isn't that the worst?
That is pretty bad.
I remember when they announced that.
I
It was
don't like the trend of naming things Rise and Rising. Dark Knight Rises, dumb name. Ultraman Rising, dumb name. Like every time that's been done a million times, and Rise of Skywalker is probably the worst.
yeah.
But you know, maybe the first movie to do it was cool, but I just think that I don't know. It's
don't
just
know.
so
It's a
on the
little-
nose.
yeah.
It's like, oh, check out this character is gonna fucking do a thing. It's like
This character is
ooh.
going to die.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
He rises to heaven. Or rises to the occasion. What if it was called
I don't
Dark Knight
understand.
Rises to the Occasion?
I'd be into that.
Yeah.
I'd be into that one. Honestly, don't
That's a
understand
redundant
that
ass title.
Like, I guess that whole title, they're like, oh, he climbs out of the pit, and then also like,
That should be called Dark Knight Climbs. Then.
I don't know. I just hate that movie. I think
Dark Knight breaks his back
Dark
on a
Knight,
knee.
Dark Knight fall down.
Dark Knight falls backwards onto a kneecap.
Dark Knight, but it's bright out. It's
Dark Knight-
bright out during most of the movie.
Dark Knight can't make out the facial expressions of his villain.
Dark Knight, it's daytime though.
Bane on a plane.
Best movie title.
Dark
That's
Knight,
really
Bane
good.
on a plane.
I don't even remember. Oh yeah, I was gonna say so. Original trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
The like the popular opinion, I agree with. Like, I love Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
That's my favorite one.
Yep.
The prequels, Revenge of the Sith, is my favorite one.
Mm-hmm.
The new ones, The Last Jedi is my favorite one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did like Solo and I did like Rogue One, but all the rest of the movies are fine.
Mm-hmm.
I would be all right watching
Yeah.
any of them, really.
They are long. I think that's what takes it down.
Yeah, that's fair. The new ones or the just all of them?
All of them.
I
They're all
haven't
long.
seen. I haven't seen a Star Wars movie since the last one came out.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one since then.
Me neither.
So
that's why we were watching
I've kind of forgotten what it's like to watch one because I just haven't.
They're good. They're fun. I love them.
Yeah.
I love the lore. I love all of it. I think it's cool. I like... she's really into the politics of... She loves that's how fucking Palpatine gets into power, is just doing political stuff. It's like House of Cards in space. It's really weird.
Yeah, I mean, I could get into that if they did more with it, honestly. But it's hard to do that with a movie that you're trying to appeal to an audience of every age.
Yeah.
You just can't, you're going to lose a lot of people.
Yep. And that...
Real quick. And
that
you do.
movie...
And they did.
I watched that one the most because that was the one we had on DVD. All the others we had on VHS. So I could take that Star Wars movie to me on car trips.
Yeah.
So I watched... When I was a kid, I watched Attack of the Clones technically the most. But it was just because I want to watch Star Wars.
Yeah.
Not because that was
if
the
I'm
best
gonna
one.
watch Star Wars, this is my choice.
Yeah.
I don't have a choice other than this one.
And when I was a kid, it's not like I was ranking them or anything like that. I was just choosing to which ones I chose to watch. And it was Return of the Jedi. I just
watch one of them.
When I was a kid, I chose to watch Return of the Jedi. Because,
well, you know what? That's like the best one as a kid.
Yeah.
As a kid, that's absolutely the best one.
Where
you got the Ewoks, you got the cool, they win, and it's really nice.
That's why.
It's a fun party at the end.
And then green lightsaber. Like, there's a lot of stuff to like in that, especially as a kid. It's just... when I was a kid, I didn't watch Empire Strikes Back quite as much either because it was like... I didn't understand at the end why it ended the way it did.
Yeah.
Because it's not like a happy ending. It's just like a whoa ending.
It's over for now.
Yeah. It's the wait until the next one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really good.
Well, and honestly, the ending I feel like is the one thing that is a drawback about Empire Strikes Back because it very much is intended to have another movie after it, and I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing.
No, not for these at least.
If you're just watching that movie by itself, you're going to be a little let down by the ending probably. Like if you're only going to watch that movie.
If you're going to watch any Star Wars movie by itself,
you're going to be let down.
You're going to be a little let down.
But
except for some.
I do think it's funny to jump back to what we were talking about earlier about her saying it's war movies. Duh, it's war movies. It's called Star Wars. And I feel I literally didn't think of it until you said it a second ago, and I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, it is war movies.
Yeah.
I mean, like, maybe not, but like, it's hard to be like, it's definitely not because it's Star Wars.
It's all about war in space.
I don't think about what those words mean when they're put together.
I know, right?
Like, I obviously know what a star is. I obviously know what war is, but when you put them together, it's a different thing now.
It's Jedis.
Yeah.
That's what we think of.
Yeah.
We don't think, and they're not war. They're peace.
No, they're peace.
They're ninjas.
They're so peace.
They're fucking ninjas with light up glow stick swords, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, how longer do you think we're going to talk about
How
Star Wars?
much longer?
I'm not done either.
Anybody?
I'm excited to watch. I've been enjoying it, but it has been I have been a little disappointed. Not her fault by just because I'm like
because she's not that into it.
I wanted her to be into it too, but
that's so hard. Showing anybody anything and then they're not into it is hard. Like, even if they're kind of into it, it's just like, if it's something you really like and you show it to somebody and they're like, yeah, this is all right. That's just hard.
And I'm hoping she doesn't think I'm disappointed that I think it's cool that Phantom Menace is her favorite. I don't care about what her favorite one is. I just want her to like them all.
It's nice that she has a favorite.
Yeah. It was not, I'm glad she liked that one.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot too. But,
yeah. It's not bad by any means.
Nope. There's a lot of, what are the issues with that one? The casting for the kid is cute, but like it's so confused. She was so confused about because she also knows a lot about Star Wars is really hard to watch for the first time these days if you're not like a child.
It's so much a part of everything.
Media, just like people just know, Luke, I am your father, like that.
Yeah.
You have to, like, Empire Strikes Back is the best one, but you really have to do work to like he's not his father. We don't know it's his father yet. We don't know. Now it's the cool part, right?
Yeah.
But even then, you're not going to get the same feelings you got when you first saw it, or if you even got to see it like that for the first time. But anyway, those movies are just really hard. Because she was like, oh, the ages thing. Like, she knew that Padme and Anakin were kind of like, they were supposed to be a thing. Right?
But she's an adult.
She looks like she's dressed
she's
as a
supposed
teenager.
to be. Yeah, she's supposed to be like a teenager.
She's supposed to be 14.
But even if she is 14, he's still young.
And Emma was getting the point with the like, because when they first showed Padme not in the makeup and stuff like that, it was like, she does look very young. There.
Yeah.
So she looks like a teenager. And
Especially
I was like,
knowing
good,
what
okay.
she looks like currently, that actor.
And Emma was like, she looks like a teenager. And I was like, oh, good. She's going to get the point a little bit. But then Anakin shows up and he's like a fucking 10-year-old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those like 14 and 10, and she doesn't look 14. She looks 17.
Yeah.
And he could be 10 or 8.
Yeah.
But he's supposed to be like 13.
Right.
Or 14.
But isn't, definitely.
Like the same age.
Yeah.
And they are not.
Not
they
at
just
all.
are not.
No.
But I get it. That kid was cute. They got to do something about that.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure.
It's also a long movie, and there's a bunch of racist stuff in it. And
Oh, yeah. It's all over that movie. That movie's got problems.
Yes, it does. Yes. She didn't get it at first with the trade. I had to tell her, and it kind of ruined it. So it's like,
that's hard too, because well, that was hard. That was hard for me growing up, having watched those movies so much, and then eventually somebody. I mean, it might have been you, honestly. Probably was you going around ruining everything for everybody.
Yeah.
But no, I'm glad to know. It's just like, I had seen those movies a million times, so even upon rewatching them as an older kid, probably is when I found out what was going on there. I wouldn't have realized on my own, probably. Maybe now I would, who knows? But like, it's just when it's a part of your childhood, you just don't think about it like that.
Yep.
And then you're like, oh,
yeah.
Oh, cool.
She didn't notice with
Great.
the Trade Federation one with their accent as much. I had to tell her, but as soon as Jar Jar started speaking, she was like, "What did he say?"
Yeah.
And she didn't remember.
Yeah, you can't.
I feel like I told her, but I don't. She said she didn't remember that at all. She was like, "What did he? Did he just say? Did he just say that?" And I was like, "Yes, he did."
You could try really hard, and you might be able to excuse the Trade Federation. But
if you close,
you cannot excuse that.
I was about to say,
there's nothing you can do about that.
I was about to say if you close your eyes, but if you close your eyes, it's the worst.
It's worse. It's way worse if your eyes are shut.
You got to open up. You got to just keep looking. Look, he's an alien. Doesn't matter. He's not human.
Yeah, I think the one thing that saves the Trade Federation a little bit, and it doesn't save it at all, but like enough that I could almost argue for it, is I don't think that they look like they're trying to do a stereotype. Well,
they don't.
The way the alien looks.
They don't.
Yeah.
They do not.
So there's that.
Maybe, I don't know about how...
the clothing, maybe. I'm not sure
I don't know
about, but the alien itself, it doesn't feel to me like they're trying to do a stereotype.
Thank God.
Because that would be the worst thing ever, probably. But Jar Jar, it's just too that's too bad a thing to have done.
It's like, it's my God.
I remember when I was a kid and I didn't know, and I didn't like Jar Jar as a character. That's the thing. Like, he's unlikable even if you take that away.
Yeah, I know.
But like, I didn't like the character, but I was like, it's crazy how much people hate this. And then I learned, and I'm like, oh no, makes a lot of sense that people hate this, actually.
If only that was like the main reason why people hated Jar Jar.
And it's not, is it?
It's not.
People just hate him because he's annoying.
Yeah, and it's like, just...
That's weird.
He's not in the whole... He's not... I mean, he's in the whole movie. He kind of... everywhere in that movie.
Man, it would have been a lot better if he'd only been in the one part.
In the CGI, the CGI in Phantom Menace 2 is like... It's a bit dated too.
Yeah.
And the prequels are all CGI, and it's like... That I'm glad they changed that with the newer ones, that they mix both. You can mix them. You can mix and match. You don't have to make everything CGI because guess what? It'll be 20 years from now and it'll look like shit.
Yeah.
But practical effects, they don't look like shit.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Years.
Like, it's really crazy to think about how much better the original trilogy looks when you compare it to the prequels, just because it's all practical. Like, obviously, there are things in that where it's like, that could have looked better if you had
look
stuff.
Real.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, some of it does.
Yeah, some.
But yeah, it's less hard to watch for me.
But it looks real in the sense of like, you can touch that. That if someone, I mean, it's obviously that's just a little small figurine.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're doing the, whatever, but you can touch it, right?
Yeah.
They look so like animation. In the new one, I forgot. I'm pretty sure Yoda in Phantom Menace was, when I was growing up, was like a puppet, wasn't he? Or was he CGI in Phantom Menace?
I'm pretty sure he's CGI in Phantom Menace.
Was he really?
I think that's where they start that because they, everything's CGI in that. I think that there's a whole thing about how they tried really hard to make him move like a puppet, but
he doesn't.
He doesn't. Yeah,
he does not in the new ones too. It's really quite. It's something.
Yeah,
I'm glad the new
go ahead.
I was gonna say the new series that came out 6 years ago was or ended 6 years ago. It came out 10 years ago.
Jesus.
I'm glad they added more. They mixed both things. Yeah, and it's like that's more.
It's more like a good modern movie where there's like they use CGI in places that it makes sense to use CGI, and they use practical stuff in places that it makes sense to use practical stuff. That's the smartest. My favorite is always still everything's practical. I think that's really cool, but it's just not realistic. Like there are so many things you can't do practically.
Yeah. And like it is. I like CG. Like it looks better today too.
Yeah.
So like if you do
it looks really good now.
If you do a whole CG thing, it doesn't look like new technology. It just looks good. Yeah. It's just more refined.
It looks good, except when it doesn't, because Tia and I just watched Captain America Brave New World, the one that came out, because we watched Thunderbolts and we both really liked Thunderbolts.
Was it good?
And Thunderbolts was great.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. But we both talked about it and we were both like, we know Brave New World is not a good movie, but we'd like to just have a little bit of the context. I mean, you don't need it to watch Thunderbolts at all. It gives you everything you need to know, really. But we were just like, curious what happens here. It's on streaming. Let's just check it out while we're eating dinner and whatever. It was bad. Bad movie. Was it really? Brave New World is not a good movie at all.
Oh.
The
poor Anthony
the
Mackie.
funniest thing about it. Oh yeah, I'm really sad for him.
Yeah.
But I think we both had this take is that the whole movie just feels like rising action. There's not really a lot of exposition. There's no climax, and then it's over.
Really?
Yeah. It's just like, stuff's happening. Oh God, stuff's happening.
It's going somewhere.
And then it's over.
Imagine starting something being like, it's going somewhere.
Yeah.
We're going somewhere. We're going.
We're going to do it.
Where are we at? And then you watch a 2.5 hour movie probably.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But the worst thing about it is just how bad the effects are. There are many times during that where like obviously throughout Marvel's history of marveling,
Marvel,
they don't always have great effects. Like things struggled in Age of Ultron. There are some times where it did not look great. Civil War, they had some issues. But you go back and watch like the first Iron Man movie, those effects are pretty fucking good.
That suit is a CGI suit, right?
That's the thing. In the first Iron Man movie, like all the chest and face and stuff and some of the arms, like most of it is real, and then they paint over certain parts of it. So it works a lot better, but it was so hot and difficult to move around in that they switched to just CGI. But honestly,
those look good too.
Those look good too for the first couple, like Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3. Stuff looks pretty good in those. And then they start trying to push the movies out real quick, and it starts to get pretty bad.
Yep.
And in this one, it's the worst I've ever seen it. I mean, there are times that, like,
Red Hulk clips into the side of a wall, and now he's back at the beginning.
Dude, that would be amazing. That would be really
if Red
funny.
Hulk was just walking, and then he clips into the side, and then the beginning of the movie starts again.
His arm bends through itself, and then he's just like flopping around at the beginning of the movie.
Oh no.
Yeah, but there's multiple times where you're looking at it and it's just like so obviously they're not there.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you're obviously standing in a room in a building, and then the outside world that's happening around you, that's not real. None of that's real.
It's like, how do you even shoot that movie?
It
Like,
looks-
how do
looks
you
terrible.
do that? Like, what do you do?
Also, the shield.
Have a guy in a room.
The shield looks bad.
Does it?
Yeah, and it's like, man, the shield looks great always because it shouldn't be that hard to do the shield. But they didn't. I'm sure they just didn't have the time
Because
to
they're like,
do it.
we have like 8 movies that all of us are supposed to be on this year.
Yeah, and so the shield is
That people aren't going
constantly
to watch anymore.
The shield is constantly like way too shiny for the scene. So it just every time you see it, it's like, well, that's not there. That's not real. So that was disheartening.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like, okay, but Thunderbolts, they did a lot of course correcting on. So, you know, obviously I don't have a lot of hope that they'll keep that going. Like the thing that Thunderbolts had that made it good was that they let the director just do his thing. And a lot of the reason they did that is probably because it was a team comprised of only characters that people don't really care that much about, you know, so they can kind of do what they want with them and nobody's going to say anything. So who knows what the future is,
knows?
but Thunderbolts was a lot of fun.
Well, that's
So,
good. CGI in movies, huh?
Yeah. That was the other thing. A lot of Thunderbolts they did practically. They did a lot of really cool stunt work, and the fights are awesome.
Yeah. It's I think obviously there are some that are still doing all CGI, but I think that trend has kind of died down a bit where it's like, all right, we can do both. We can even have it be mostly CGI. It's just like we
But
don't
you
have
gotta
to
be intentional with it.
forget one element of movie making
Yeah.
completely because it will outdate itself.
Well, and the other thing that like really makes CGI work is having a plan. You just got to have a fucking plan. Because
Yeah.
like when they're intentional with camera angles and they like know what they want the shot to look like and they do stuff like
absolutely.
that, the CGI can look great.
Avatar.
But when you don't really have a plan and you just kind of are like, well, we need this shot and
We're gonna film Anthony
We're just
Mackie doing a couple things in
Yeah.
a room, and then we'll fix it all in post.
we're just going to put a bunch of these, everybody in this shot needs to be on the screen and then all that needs to be on I mean, that's like the biggest issue with in-game is like, oh, we got to get all this stuff on the screen, so we just got to have everything be like a gray background and then everybody's there.
Yeah.
And it looks bad.
It does.
But like fucking
Yeah.
the Pirates of the Caribbean with Davy Jones.
In his locker.
Yeah, and his locker. He's got, you know, he's completely CGI. Like
Yes, he is.
his face and all the
Mocap.
tentacly, it's all yeah. And so and all of it looks fucking amazing. And
Really? To this day? Cool.
still looks really damn good.
I have never seen it.
And the reason it looks so, there are a few reasons that it looks really good. And one of them is that
They did a good job.
He's all ocean and wet.
Oh, yes.
So stuff that's like supposed to be overly shiny can work really well with CGI. And then also a lot of it is nighttime, and that helps a lot. You can hide a lot of stuff in the dark. But also they just had a plan, you know?
They just knew.
They knew exactly what they wanted to do with it.
Yep.
And so when they did it, it looked good.
Yeah. You can't just be like, we'll fix it all.
yeah,
You
we'll
can't
fix
make
it
a
in post. Don't worry.
You can't make a movie in post.
And they tried really hard for 10
Brave New
years.
Oh,
10 years they tried to make only movies in post.
they'll do it right now.
They were like, let's go to USPS and make a movie.
You know what the best movie is that was made in post?
What?
Toy Story something. I don't know. One of those.
Toy Story
probably.
something.
Just kidding, idiot.
I haven't seen
A Pixar movie in a long
a
time.
Pixar movie in a long time.
There's a new one coming out.
Elio.
Elio. It might already be out.
I think that they made bold claims in those commercials where they were like something. I don't remember exactly
Best
what it said.
Pixar movie you've ever seen already.
It was like best movie of the summer or something like that, or most action-packed movie of the summer. And I was like, I think you can't say that.
I don't know what's coming.
I feel like you can't say that.
I don't know what's coming out this summer, to be honest.
Maybe they looked at the.
Oh wait, Mission Impossible already came out, didn't it?
Yeah, but I guess
So-
technically maybe it wasn't summer yet.
I guess not.
I don't know.
It kind of was though. June and July is what they mean when they say summer movies.
Yeah. Man, I had so many impossible missions today.
We just talked about movies for 45 minutes.
Man, it's like a different podcast.
Yeah,
we
it
do.
is like a different podcast we do that is more organized and not in the morning. It's not in the morning.
Definitely not in the morning.
156.
It's even less in the morning than it is now.
What are you talking about?
The podcast.
Which one?
This podcast.
Sam?
Then?
Samson? All right, send him home.
What's your favorite thing?
My favorite thing is 5 Gum. I love 5 Gum because it reminds me of the time that it just reminds me of the time where I went and I
This is gonna be the movie of the summer. You're never gonna see it coming. There's so much action happening right now. Action-packed. Flat. Put it in a box as a movie. It could be on DVD. It could be on Blu-ray. You could buy it digitally. Movies. You're in a cave. A cave filled with water and little mysterious creatures. There's a million eyes looking at you right now. They want to know what movie you want to watch. Yeah, that's right. They have an old CRT in the cave. It's hooked up with any kind of media player you can imagine. Is the movie going to look good on that screen? Maybe not. But you can still watch it. Look at all the eyes. Looking at the screen. Now they're looking at you. This movie is never gonna end because it's too powerful. We're gonna break into a bank. we break into a bank. We get chased by people with guns. I'm gonna shoot back, and they're gonna shoot at us. People are gonna die. Explosions, fire, cars crashing. Money with diet packets in it. Whoa. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. This was God, Man, and Buddy bringing you one podcast a week. Except it's only every other week, so one podcast every 2 weeks. And you're gonna want to tune in next time that we're playing a show. If you ever want to listen to the show or do the show or have a show to listen to, this is a show that you should listen to.
We also have a show where we talk about movies with our friend Joey, and sometimes we'll do that show together.
Sometimes we do that show together. Check us out on that show or this show. Every show you can check us out on. Go ahead and do that. Everybody, goodbye.
We're gonna have to let you go. Talk to you next week. Goodbye.